It's Sussy for Russie, Famous Jameis, Jackson Dart. I didn't have a nickname for him off the top of my head. Plus 2,000 for the Giants to win this division. They are very much at the bottom of the betting odds for this. They are going to be Vegas thinks they're going to be in contention for the number one pick. Their over/under is only 5.5 wins. Now, Dylan said the Cowboys are going to finish last in this division. Therefore, you must think the Giants aren't going to be that bad.
Haven't we done this song and dance with this quarterback, Dylan? Haven't we done this?
Well, he was good.
Well, yeah, they have three.
When he played.
They have three. They have three quarterbacks.
They have three. You get Russell Wilson in. 77.5 grade in 2024. 22nd in passing touchdowns.
He won a Super Bowl 500 years ago.
And yards total, aggregate, in limited action. So that's qualified quarterbacks, those that have taken 50% of the snaps. Should I keep going?
Yeah, go for it.
Russell Wilson, 77.5 grade in 2024. 22nd most passing touchdowns and 22nd most yards in limited action. That's amongst qualified quarterbacks. Quarterbacks that have 50% of the max snaps in the quarterback position. Okay? We've done the song and dance about quarterbacks before. Should rookie quarterbacks play? Should they sit? I think we've kind of come to the conclusion that the Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love situation is probably the formula to go.
Which we should have mentioned about J.J. McCarthy more, which that might be an advantage to him getting hurt last year.
You're so right. You're so right, Carter. And we won't talk about that in the Titans preview. So they haven't named a starter yet. I think it's going to have to be Russell Wilson, and then you have Jackson Dart back up. But I think the leash is going to be short. I think it's going to be a short leash for Russell Wilson. What I'm in love with here, this could easily be the best defense in professional football. At least the best defensive line.
I like the defensive line a lot.
I mean, this is going to be the best defensive line. You have Thibodeau and Burns on the edges. You have Lawrence and Abdul Carter coming in. Like this defensive line is so strong. Could be one of the better defenses in the conference. You have Brian Daboll making 6-7 jokes in the offseason. The Giants, how many losses are they going to have? 6-7. I love this Giants team. You know how I feel about Russell Wilson. I think the defense is going to be solid. Darius Slayton emerged as a star. Or not, I'm sorry, not Darius Slayton. Malik Neighbors emerged as a star last year.
Darius Slayton.
My questions for this team, wide receiver outside of Neighbors is pretty weak. And running back is not a great situation. Tyrone Tracy was fine last year.
Offensive line, are you pumped with?
Offensive line, I'm not a fan of.
Yeah, I was about to say.
But I think this defense is strong enough to keep them in games. I could see a couple of wins, 17, 21 points is going to be all that's needed.
I know Connor's not here right now. He's in the other room. You know, he's probably busy. I don't need to be on this podcast.
Yeah,
blah, blah,
Giants,
blah.
Giants.
Yeah, Giants. I don't need to be here for the Giants. Dylan, let's have a little kumbaya moment. I like the Giants.
Do you really? I thought I was going to be on an island.
I like him over 5.5 wins. What scares me about the Giants is a lot of things. First off, this is like my Auburn football take of the NFL. I worry that Daboll, if things get a little rocky early on, he's going to have to force Jackson Dart to play sooner than he probably should. And that's a concern for me. And I don't want Jackson Dart coming in as a rookie quarterback playing with this weak offensive line. It does help he has a guy like Malik Neighbors to throw to, and that makes a big difference for rookie quarterbacks. Because you look at the rookie quarterbacks recently that have or had not had great wide receivers to throw to, it makes a massive difference. You look at Bryce Young, he had nobody to throw to. It's Adam Thielen who was his best wide receiver. Then meanwhile, you go to other rookie quarterbacks, they're having, Nico Collins to throw to. Great player. Either way, regardless, the defensive line is unbelievable. It is so weird. It's like it's like the person in your fantasy draft who's like, I don't care no matter what. I'm making sure I have the best tight end in I'm making sure I'm picking the top 2 tight ends in fantasy. And you're like, well, you also need running backs and wide receivers on this football team. You can't just have the best tight ends on your fantasy football team. The Giants did that with their defensive line. You go, I like a lot of this. I love the defensive line. It's elite. Don't get me wrong. You still need an offensive line. The running back situation, I'm not as worried about. I kind of like Tyron Tracy. Cam Scadaboo, I think, will be awesome, too. Malik Neighbors, solid. You're right about the questions outside of Malik Neighbors, but the real thing here is I can't fully buy into this team. I would love them as a surprise team a year from now with this defensive line and Jackson Dart with a year under his belt. But I can't be all in on a Giants to not finish last in the division with Russell Wilson at quarterback.
I think realistic, that's probably the plays. It's probably 1 year away for the Giants, I would have to think.
But the problem is this coaching staff, are they going to be given another year? And then it's a whole cycle all over again.
Daboll's been given a pretty long leash.
I know, but that's the thing is, like, has it been too long at this point?
Yeah, and I do want to touch last year, the players that took snaps at quarterback for the Giants were Daniel Jones, Drew Lock, and Tommy DeVito. Are you telling me Russell Wilson's going to be worse?
No.
And at worst case scenario, it's at least someone that Jackson Dart can learn under, like Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers. I want to take a look at the schedule real quick. After Week 8, easy schedule. I mean, I don't know if I'd say easy, but there's no there's no tough spots here where it's like, oh, you're playing 3 games back to back on the road, short weeks. Like I kind of play Monday Night Football, then you get a bye.
Sure, but it's not easy.
Sorry, I missed most of this discussion. Based on record last year, they got the hardest schedule in the league. Based on record from last year, they have 10 games against playoff teams from last year.
But the spots aren't tough. Like you're not looking at short weeks.
But does that matter for a team like the Giants? There's going to be 10-point dogs in half their games.
Call me crazy, but I do think playing on Sunday then having to play on Thursday is pretty tough. Yeah, I do think having to go overseas is pretty tough. Yeah, and I do think playing 3 back-to-back away games is pretty tough. So yeah, I'll go on record and go ahead and say those things are tough.
I might have missed some of this.
Connor, to fill you in, Dylan obviously in on the Giants, sussy for Russie and all that. I like their over 5.5 wins because of that defensive line, but not willing to say they're not going to be last in the division. I just think they're still 6-11, a year away, and I think I'm going to love this Giants team a year from now. Not quite this year. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, defensive line is definitely the strength. I'm sure you touched on it. Dexter Lawrence has the highest PFF graded defensive tackle over the last 3 years. Pair him with Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, Abdul Carter. Nasty rotation. I think you just blitz everyone, try and force turnovers, give the offense a short field. That's the Giants' path to success this year. I've still got them finishing last in the division. I think you're kind of right, Carter. Not to beat a dead horse. I think it's kind of a year away. Neighbors is dealing with a toe injury still that's lingering. Tyrone Tracy, Devin Singletary doesn't get me too excited in the run game.
Cam Scadaboo.
Yeah, last I wrote down, how much are we going to see of him, how early? I think they probably finish 5-12 because the schedule is tough, but I think there's a chance they pull an upset or two in there. Like there's a chance that they beat a good team or two just strictly because of that D-line. So I'll get 5-12 last in the division, but I do think they're trending in the right direction as far as franchise goes.
Yeah, I just worry with this coaching staff. If you actually believe in this coaching staff, you have to give them leeway this year, and you can't fire them going into another year. But
you're right, though, Dylan. It has been a long leash.
Very long.
Very long. Very long. All right, let's take a quick break. All right, Connor, what's the deal? What do we need to do here?